Hey, welcome back to episode Wrong Podcast. I'm your host Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey, bud.
How you doing, man?
I'm so good, but you're better.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. So this week we're talking about the 2016 spring anime wrap-up, and we're going to get to that in a bit because we have a bunch of catching up to do.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in like days.
Yeah, so we did, let's see. We were at Anime Expo. We covered that shit. I had Kyle in here.
Yeah, good episode, by the way. I enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And he told us about the weirdest show I think we've given him.
It was like the deities and the fucking gods and the vices and shit.
Vices.
Yeah, and there was like pretty boys that weren't pretty or whatever show. Yeah, it sounded like it sucked ass.
Yeah, so anyways, now that that's over, you got married.
I did.
And now we're recording.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's
it. We don't even catch up anymore.
All right, so on to the news.
No, man. Yeah, this past weekend, I got married to CIERRA. We've been dating for 7 years. We've been friends for like 12, you know. I was like, fuck it.
Those are weak numbers.
Yeah, those are
pump those numbers up.
Those numbers up. Yeah, those are rookie numbers. So this last week was like hectic. A lot on CIERRA, a lot on... I mean, I would say I don't say I had a lot to do, but I was things I had to do, and like they were just like, make sure you get these things done. And I was like,
you had very important things to do.
Fucking on it, you know. And then we were just talking about this, how since like the day after the wedding, I've been feeling like I'm supposed to do something, but I can't remember what it is.
Yep.
And I really can't wrap my head around it. And we think it might be just like post-traumatic stress from the wedding. We're just like, there was days where I had stuff to do, and now I don't have anything to do. So I go, this is too safe. You know, there's an attack coming or something. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. We we got married in July. You know, the nicest time of the year.
Sure, some people would say that.
It was fucking hot.
Yeah, we were roasting.
We had to take pictures outside. We had our ceremony outside,
and we were in a very hot, very small room that we shouldn't have been in for far longer than we were supposed to be there.
Yeah, we got our groomsmen, the groomsmen, you were a groomsman, and I had my brother and a friend, and then we had another couple of buddies were there, and the photographer, right? And we were all on the
that poor photographer having to be stuck with all of us.
We were in our room and we were getting dressed and taking pictures, and then we were going to go downstairs to take pictures at the bar, and we got in the elevator, and the elevator got stuck, and I shit you not, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's weird because, like, any other day I wouldn't mind getting stuck in an elevator, right?
Well, I mean, I might have, but like at this point, I was like, oh no, this is like one of the most important kinds of days.
This is a really important day where I don't need things. I need things that just go the right way, and this was not the right way. And we were in the tiny elevator. It was getting really hot. We had all our suits on. It sucked ass. And then like my brother and like my friends and like Ryan were like snapping it, and I was just like, I just really want to get out of this fucking elevator.
I'm pretty sure Ryan was also panicking, but his way of panicking was a little bit goofier.
Like nervous and like joking. And
mine is like, just got to be calm.
Yeah.
Just can't really say or do anything because, I don't know, as soon as the elevator stopped, I immediately looked and I'm like, when was it last serviced? How many people can be on here? I was looking at all that information before even like who to call because I'm like, I don't want to jump to conclusions here.
Bro.
I got to get all my facts straight.
The worst part was, so we're in the elevator and we're like, oh, it's broken. No worries. We'll just call someone, right? None of us had cell service.
Yep.
Everybody in the elevator is like, yeah, man, cell phones don't seem to work here. I was like, what a huge blindside on whoever's fucking part is this. Like, yeah, man, this elevator is bulletproof and fucking cell phone proof and there's no Wi-Fi in it. It was really shitty. My brother, the way he panics is like, he just gets really loud and he's just like, he gets like anxious, like he's like a fucking an animal in a cage. He's like, I gotta get out of here. What
I can do? This isn't working for me, man.
He's just like pushing shit. Yeah. I'm just like, just fucking stay calm. Like, just don't move. Just stay in this corner. We were there for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. I feel like
something like that. But when we rang the little elevator thing and we're trying to call for help or whatever, and it starts moving, and I thought we were all good, and then your brother hit a button,
it stopped again.
I was just like, no.
I was like, I was so mad at him, and I
was really frustrated.
And I go, it's fine, because I know he fucked up, but I was like, but I don't want to make him feel bad because we're all stuck in this little elevator,
and we're all stuck together for the whole day, realistically. Yeah. And somebody already knows that we need to be helped. Yeah. So we're all good.
The thing that really fucking pissed me off about the whole situation is we finally get out. I was like, okay, cool. And I just need to get a beer at the bar. Just need to chill out. And then the photographer has to go up and get stuff. and he uses the elevator, and he gets informed by the staff there. He goes like, yeah, the limit is 7 people. Well, there were 7 of us. And then the sign says the limit is 3,500 pounds, right?
We each need to weigh at least 500 pounds.
And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. You should have a sign that just says no more than 7 people.
On the outside, they have a sign that says maximum occupancy 8.
And there were 7 of us.
Well, I'm just saying, like, all of their numbers didn't really add up. Some janky shit there, Mr. Hotel.
That was upsetting. So that was like a really shitty part of the wedding.
Yeah, it was wild. It was not okay.
We got the photos done, and I'm not a big fan of photos, but, I did them because, like, you had to.
Man, I know that you were still stressed out after that elevator thing, but as soon as that ended, I'm like, well, it can't get much worse than that. So I just felt pretty good the rest of the day.
I was telling Sierra that, like, I hate, like, I'd already talked to Don about it. He's like our photographer. We talked to him months ahead of time. He took photos with my family for like a family thing that we were doing. And I told him, like, hey man, like, I'm not the biggest fan of photos. I'll try my best. I hate being told to smile. Like, it really bugs me because I just don't like putting on a smile. Like, I'll smile when my body naturally does it. So I was like, I just kind of like smirk a little bit, and he's like, and he was really cool about it. He's like, yeah, man, I got you. Like, I'm not going to bug you. I'll do my best. Little did I know that Dawn was going to bring an assistant who was just this older lady, kind of doing like the candid shots and like other pickups and stuff. And she kept telling me to smile all day. And I just wanted to tell her to shut the fuck up. Cause like, yo, leave me alone. Like, really just stop. And then Sierra's older sister also told me to smile. And like, she always seems to bug me somehow. And this is like, and she knows that bugs me. So she does it. And I go, ooh. So I think whenever I end up teasing her and upsetting her, I feel like it's fair. I go, cool.
Because of the smile thing.
Yeah, cool. Because of the smile thing. I'm just going to piss you off because of this thing. When
I do think it's pretty funny that you just don't like to smile in photos, though, because you smile so much outside of photos, like all the time.
Yeah, because it's like normal, and like I feel like it's like real, and like in photos, like something about smiling in photos it really like just upsets me and makes me like feel really like fake or whatever. And I just
the whole situation is fake. So when I imagine what helps me, because I also used to fucking hate
smiling. Yeah.
Anyways, since it is so fake, you have to pretend like, what if this was a candid shot?
Oh yeah.
Even if you're all posed up and whatnot, just like, what if I was just goofing off with my friends and we were like, hey nerd, take a picture of us? That's what I think about.
Yeah, I guess.
And then that works for me, but I get it, man. You got a beautiful smile and everyone knows it.
Thanks,
and that's why they want you to smile.
I mean, Sierra accepts it. Like, Sierra's cool with the fact that I don't like smiles, and she's like okay with it, and it's just good because like, cool, we're married, she understands the situation or how I feel about it, which I really like about her, right? Her family doesn't get it for some reason. They all like to push my buttons, and I go, how about you just leave me alone? How about you just
Families are very
but that's my family now.
Yep,
because we're married. Another issue that happened at the wedding was there was no Modelo.
This was actually really funny to me. I was cracking up because I don't really care about beer at all. I feel like I don't have a favorite.
All beer is beer, right?
No, not really. Like, everything tastes different, but I don't have a favorite.
Yeah.
And the fact that some people do, I get it. But it's really funny when somebody fucks with that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, I wouldn't say like Modelo's my favorite beer. It's just a beer that like my go-to beer. It's easy to drink.
It's what you ordered.
Yeah, people have it, right? But like most bars have it, and like my dad drinks it, and I go, cool. I know my relatives like it. It's an easy beer to drink. I was like, cool. So when we set up the wedding, I was like, yeah, get 2 kegs of Modelo and a keg of pale ale, right? I was like, that should be more than enough, And if we need more, we'll pay for more. And so the day of the wedding, I guess I get informed later, like, hey man, the Modelo hasn't arrived. Like the shipment didn't come in. We can put another beer on tap for you, and then when it gets here, we'll just put the Modelo on. And I go, okay, cool. Like in my head is like, this is I don't need to focus on this. I still need to walk down the aisle and get married.
We're not even started.
And I go, cool, man. Put Summerfest on tap. If anybody comes up, because I wasn't gonna go run around telling people. I was just gonna be like bartender. When someone comes up and tells you I want a Modelo, you tell them it's not here yet. We have this instead, right? And I was like, okay, cool. But I did tell everybody, like all like my friends and relatives, like ahead of time, because they wanted to know what the alcohol situation was. Like I was like, Modelo and pale ale on me all night. So most of them knew what the situation was. So I didn't get there. And after getting married and stuff, like I'm getting hit up by like everybody, like all my relatives are like, hey man, where the fuck's the Modelo? And I go, it's coming, because that's what I've been told. It's coming. My friend's like, hey man, where's the Modelo? I'm like, it's on its way. And the night progresses, a couple hours go by, and they're like, hey, where's the Modelo? I was like, I don't know. And then I just go to the bartender and I go, hey man, is this thing gonna fucking come or not? Like, what's the fucking deal? Like, don't string me along for some, like, you know, just tell me. And he goes, it's not gonna come. I was like, cool, fucking thank you. And I was like, I don't have to worry about this anymore. It's not gonna be here. We'll get whatever other beer you have on tap. But man,
that was my favorite though, because instead of being like, we'll get another kind of like similar substitute, instead they're like, let's just get like a really harsh beer.
They got like this Lagunitas brown ale thing. Tasted like ass. It was so gross. I had, you know, Lester Kyle. He went up there and he asked for Modelo like 9 times. And by the 10th time, the bartender literally snapped and he's like, no Modelo, it is not coming. And Kyle goes, okay, I'll have a Summerfest or whatever. Like, so, and, you know, I heard a lot of it, but by the end of the night, like, I was like, I don't fucking care anymore. It wasn't here.
Yeah, honestly, who cares?
Yeah, right. So, but I did talk to the guy who, like, you know, runs the venue or whatever, and he helped compensate it like financially because like it didn't arrive. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, I was like, hey man, we did drink some beer, so I will pay for the beer I drank, but I didn't drink the beer I wanted to drink. So there's some situation. So he ended up like,
so help me out.
Yeah, I was like, so he helped me out, which is like cool, man, because it's not his fault, you know, like he doesn't. I mean, it is his responsibility. But it's not his fault that they didn't get there. It was the company's fault. Something with their driver got fired and all this shit. And I go, cool. Oh, well. I kept joking with Sarah, being like, yeah, there was no Modelo at the wedding. So technically we didn't even get married. Like, that doesn't really count, you know?
That's not our wedding. We need to have another one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I can go to like a judge and be like, yeah, Your Honor, there was no Modelo at the wedding. He goes, okay, what, you know, marriage annulled.
Yep.
And he goes, sorry. That was like, honestly, like the biggest, in quotations, like problem. There's a couple like, decorations that broke, right?
Yeah, while we were taking pictures and whatnot, I guess wind got crazy at the venue and it knocked over some decorations and props and whatnot.
But at that point, you go, cool, just lift them up and replace the ones that broke. And
well, I just felt bad because Courtney was there and she was the one that was kind of doing everything while we were busy. And she was stressed, just like, what do we do to fix this problem? You know, now people don't have tables to sit at or whatever because of the way that it's all written. So we got to print something out and get it all going. And she just wanted it to look nice. And I feel like she couldn't make it look as nice as she wanted it to.
Yeah.
But she made it work.
In my opinion,
it was good.
I mean, I totally like understand where Kelsey's coming from. I mean, Courtney's coming from, because obviously she wants it to look like pristine or whatever. And, but Courtney did volunteer to be Sierra's go-to person for the day. Like, so it's like,
which is awesome.
So I
think that gave her awesome experience for her upcoming wedding.
She's getting married next year. So like, so she for sure knew what was coming. So I know she was stressed, was like, but in my head, it's like, I'm sorry you're stressed. I am also stressed. I can't, you know, you have to carry this burden for the rest of the day or whatever, you know. She did a great, you know, it sucks that they broke, but you know, the fucking posters got put up or the papers got put up and people found out where to sit, right? There's, I mean, even after people sat, people moved around, so it wasn't even a big deal. There's plenty of room.
Chill. It was good.
There was an aunt who I didn't. I intended her to come. I invited her, and then her husband said that none of them were going to come for some bullshit reason.
Oh, this whole thing.
She ended up showing up, and I was kind of worried because, like, I hope she's not like doesn't make a scene or gets upset or whatever. And she was really nice. Like, she walked up to me, she like congratulated me, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. She said a bunch of sweet stuff about how, you know, what she wants for our marriage, whatever. Yeah. And I go, you know, that's really nice. And I said, hey, like, there's where my grandma's sitting, you know, your mother, like, feel free to sit with them or find any table you can, but like, that's where they are. And she's like, okay. And she spent the night, danced and partied, and I was like,
and made a huge scene when it was all over.
Yeah, she punched me right in the face. Yeah.
But she waited until the wedding was over, which is important.
Yeah, it was no, she was great, and I'm really happy that she came and she was able to, like, you know, not let some dumb decision or whatever, some petty bullshit, like, avoid her to have a good time with her family. Other relatives, like cousins and like aunts and uncles that I didn't know were going to come for sure also showed up, and I was like, cool, I'm glad they were able to make it.
Yeah.
So it was really nice, honestly. We got a bunch of gifts, you know, we had to fucking cart those around. The music situation was, I think it went well for the most part, because like Jero had me running around like collecting music that he wanted to hear at the wedding. So I collected a bunch of like Sierra's music that she wanted, and then I collected music that like I think American people would also like at a wedding. And then I just collected a bunch of Mexican like music, and I was like, okay, cool. The mariachi band played; they were killer. I feel like the people really enjoyed them. And then the music started playing, like, started playing, like, American music, and, like, all the, like, most of the Americans went out, like, the white people started dancing, and a lot of Sierra's family and stuff. And I was like, cool, this is great. Everything's okay. But all of my family members were just fucking planted. Like, none of them fucking budged, right?
Nope, yeah.
I thought it was so funny. They didn't fucking move a muscle. And I was like, okay. And I was like, that's not on me. If they want to dance, they'll dance. And so then I was chilling. I think I was sitting outside at one point, and my sister finally comes out, and she comes up to me, she's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I was like, yeah, sure, what's up? You know, I was like, oh, fuck, I hope nothing's wrong. And she goes, yeah, you know, this American music's been playing for a while now, and, like, you know, all the Mexicans are really bored. Like, you think Jiro can, like, switch it up and play some Spanish music? And I go, you know what? It's been a bit. I think it'd be fair to change the music over, right? And so I go up to Jiro and I tell him the situation. He goes, yeah, no worries. He goes, like, I'll play a couple more, like, English songs or whatever, and then I'll play the Spanish medley of music he gave me. Sure. So that happens, and as soon as the Mexican music starts, fucking all of the fucking Mexicans got up and just started stomping on the dance floor. It was terrifying. They were killing it, though. I thought they were having such a good time. And I started dancing. I like Mexican music. I think it's really fun to dance to. I don't really know how to do it. Just kind of shuffle and hop back and forth.
I asked just to make sure. I'm like, all right, so what do I have to do for this?
Just kind of bounce.
It's just a two-step.
Two-step and you bounce.
Literally nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, easy.
And then the best part is, like, I think it's intimidating because you see some people on dance floor just killing it, and you go, if you look at them, they're also just doing a two-step, but they're, like, doing flares and, like, they're spinning, and it's just like, but honestly, it just boils down to them shuffling back and forth, you know? That was great. And then Jiro came back to me, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half later, and he goes, hey man, should I change the music back to American music? And I looked back and I saw, like, there weren't really a lot of, like, American people still sitting. They were also just dancing. And I go, you know what? You could probably just keep playing the Spanish music, because Mexicans won't dance to American music, but white people will dance to Spanish music.
Yeah.
And it was a great time. And by the end of the night, they did some throwbacks, and that was great. And I mean, I was worried about the music. I cannot tell you. Jiro's one of my really good friends, but I was like, oh, fuck, if he fucks up, if something happens, he was on top of it. He didn't drink at all the entire day. I was like, I was very proud of him.
That's good.
As proud as I was of myself for getting married, I was proud that Jiro did not fuck up my wedding with being the DJ.
That was good.
And then at the end of the night, my aunts, because we shut it down early, CIERRA got sick. So yeah, we're going to talk about this. Yeah. CIERRA drank a lot of wine and some shots, and she was killing on the dance floor. And then she stopped and hit a wall and ended up getting sick and puking. It's fine. She doesn't remember that. She blacked out, so she doesn't care. We can talk about that.
We can?
Yeah, absolutely. She doesn't care.
Okay.
And
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, sure. So you could talk about
I'll talk about it.
I'm just going to not.
Yeah, for sure. You abstain. I don't care. She's my wife. She's going to fucking leave me.
Yes.
So what was I going to say? Where was that before I said CIERRA?
You were just ridiculing CIERRA.
I was going to say something else.
You were just embarrassing her in front of a large audience.
No, in front of, like, the 10 people listening to us. CIERRA got sick and puked. It's no big deal. We had to drag her to the hotel, and she passed out. That was great. She ruined my wedding.
Yeah. Okay.
Not hers, though, because she didn't remember it. What did I want to say? I was saying that fuck, I can't fucking remember. It was something before the fact that CIERRA got sick. Something about Jiro and being a DJ.
Okay.
No, it's all good.
It's
everything. Yeah, I can't remember it, but everything was great.
It reminds me of somebody else who couldn't remember it.
Cleaning up the next day was kind of shitty because we were really tired or whatever, and it was hot.
I was bummed that I had to work.
Yeah,
I also wanted to help out.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, but I get it. I ended up calling a couple of my friends who were also, partying the night before, and they were really. I remember what I was going to say. They were really. Adrian was really hungover when he came to help, and then Matt was still drunk. So, like, they just show up to, like,
Matt was very drunk.
So they show up to the storage unit, and they're just like, all right, we're here to help. What are we doing? Just move this stuff from point A to point B. Thank you for being here. What I was going to say is that, so the night kind of started slowing down around 10:30, I feel like. That's when we did last call or whatever for alcohol, and, like, Jiro came up to me, he's like, hey, man, what do you want me to do with music? I said, hey, just announce that you're going to play a few more songs and then announce last song of the night and then just cut it. We can start cleaning up and get out of here because some people have been shuffling out. There wasn't too many people left. I was like, it's probably a good time to leave.
Yeah, there was, I think, about a quarter of the people that were. Yeah,
I was something. Like, it's fine. I mean, I was tired. I want to be at home.
Oh my god, I was exhausted. Yeah. I mean, we started our morning.
You
started yours a little bit later. You had a later night. Yeah. I started mine a little bit earlier.
I think I started around like 9 is when because I got up and had to go pick up some stuff, but. anyways, we were tired, right? So we're like, cool. I didn't mind that it shut down. So I was moving around and doing stuff, and I come back, and like my relatives, my aunts on my mom's side were just yelling, and I was like, what's going on? And like I go, what's the issue? And they go, and they're like, I'm like one at a time, and they go, yo, what the hell, Juan? Like the party was supposed to go till midnight. I was like, no, the party was supposed to go until like 11:30. And you guys are supposed to get out here before midnight, you know? I was like,
yeah.
She's like, yeah, but it's like only like 11. I go, and it's done? Like the DJ just turned off the music. It's like, you paid him for this? And like, he goes, and he stole an hour from you. He's stealing your money. Like they got really mad. Like,
oh my God.
Like, we're gonna go yell. And I go, whoa. Settle down. I was like,
why is everyone mad about it?
Yeah, exactly. I go, settle down. I was like, no one stole anything from me. First of all, I told Jiro to stop playing music. Second of all, he is my friend and he is doing this as a favor. He's been doing all this for free. He's not getting paid. No one's stolen anything from me. And then they instantly all just kind of turn and go, oh my God, that's so sweet of him. Oh, we should go thank him. Oh, he did such a great job with the music.
That shit makes me roll my eyes so fucking hard.
They were so mad at Jiro, and then they were so happy that he did this. The best part though is
thanks, Jiro. Yeah. But like, you're not the best person in the universe because you didn't steal his money.
Yeah. And then the next day I did see them at like Gordo because my dad made me do and stuff, and all my relatives were just fucking hungover and like because I ended up not drinking all that much, but I was super tired. But they were like really like, you know, red eyes, just like squinting and like, oh, I can't move. And I go, cool, they all had a good time. This is great. So that was it, man. That was the wedding. These last couple days have been pretty chill. Me and Ciera have just been like spending the time that we can together, watch the anime. She went back to work today.
Said it was a hard day. It was long.
She's still tired. She still had like recuperating from like the tiredness. You know, I said bye to most of our relatives. I think there's only like a couple who are still in town for a bit longer. Adrian left today. Said bye to him. It was good, man. This weekend, I'm moving into a new apartment.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and Ciera's moving out of here.
What?
Yeah, sorry to tell you.
Okay, well, that's weird that I'm hearing this for the first time.
So, yeah. So,
honestly, I've been constantly at work. I'm just like, Ciera's not very worried about packing, but I'm kind of worried for her. I don't want her to have to work too hard. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, you let her do her because, you know, don't put any stress on her. Let her do it. But, yeah, man, the wedding went off great. I'm now a married man. And I'm happy. Everything's good. So, and, you know, obviously you were there. You enjoyed it. And I hope you had a good time. And I, really appreciate you all the stuff you did for us.
Man, it was so fun.
So here's $1,000.
Oh, whoa. I can't believe you gave me 1,000 rupees.
Yeah.
Indian rupees.
Yeah. That's
Which I
it,
think
man.
Is like 50 cents or something.
Besides that, I've literally been doing nothing. I started watching Stranger Things.
Season 4?
Season 3?
Okay.
Is it season? It's season 3.
Yeah, season 3's out.
Yeah.
But I thought you might have had like an inside scoop.
No inside scoop. I did not get that from Andrew Hahn.
Okay.
And I mean, I watched Spider-Man again.
Nice.
And then
which Spider-Man?
Far From Home.
Okay.
And
what the fuck, man?
What?
Why'd you go see it again without me?
Adrian wanted to see it last night.
Adrian, you son of a bitch! You could have invited me.
I'll watch it with you again.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
I almost went today, actually.
Okay.
Just on my own time.
We can go. Anyways, we can still go today if you want.
Yeah, back to you watching Spider-Man.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah? What did you enjoy most?
I think they did a really good job with Mysterio.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, the way they showed off his powers. I don't want to know anything about so there's a specific scene
where I don't want to know that.
Yeah, no, I think they did a really good job with him. And I've always been a huge fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. So
yeah, Jakey Jake.
So that was good. And then, I mean, I've been watching some of the new animes, and that's about it, man. Nothing too crazy.
Fuck, dude.
What about you, besides the crazy wedding that you were involved with?
Well, at work, I have been reading Land of the Lustrous. I'm almost caught up with the anime, with the books. So I have like a shitload there. I honestly like the manga more because... Okay, so the anime adds in a lot of animation and you could like really tell what's happening with the anime. And I like that a lot. But the animation isn't fantastic at all times. Yeah. There are moments where it's some of the best 3D animation we've seen for anime. But there are a lot of parts where it's not too clean and it's a little bit choppy. And it's just the normal 3D problems with anime. So reading the books, you could get these really good visuals that you could just analyze and look at for a while. But it also cuts out some of the action, and there is some confusion while reading it. But those shots that are like really well framed and look good are just so much more appreciated in the manga. And I feel like I'm able to go through it pretty fast, catching up to the point where we're at in the show. So I'm gonna finish that up probably this week, and be all caught up with the manga from what they have released for manga books in the US.
How did they do the hair? Do they do like just shading differently or?
No, it just looks like normal ass hair.
Okay, so
and then every once in a while it's like shiny.
Okay,
and that's like you could tell that it's different, but it looks good.
Okay,
it doesn't look like a weird gel or anything, kind of the way that it looks
like
in
blob,
the
like jelly on their head.
Because that's the way that it kind of looks in the 3D animation style, even though they were going for like a solid piece of gem or something. Yeah. So moments with like Bort, for example, she has very thick strands of hair in the anime, and you feel like it holds some weight. And there are moments where they're like, "Oh shit, watch your hair, dude! You almost break, you almost knocked me over, or whatever." In the manga, it looks a lot cleaner, a lot more just smooth, and it makes more sense why it's separated just in the way that it looks in each shot. It just feels more natural in the manga than it did in the TV show.
Right.
So some things were difficult to translate, but I feel like overall, everything that they had in the manga compared to the anime, they did a pretty good job translating it all.
Right. Like my favorite part of... I agree. Like I don't really like the way the hair looks because of like the chunk bit of it, that.
Yeah.
But I do like the lighting they get off of it, like
absolutely.
Like the shimmer and stuff. Like, so that was like, obviously you can't really do that in a non-colored manga, right? And obviously there's a few colored pages and maybe the colored cover.
Also, it's really helpful reading. At the beginning, it gives you a breakdown of who each gem is, what their hardness is, and it reminds you kind of their personality and their job.
It gives it does a better job.
Like, this is our main character. She's going through a lot right now. It doesn't even say anything more. It's just like, this is her. She's going through a lot. This is Amethyst and Amethyst. They honestly don't remember who's who, and people lose track, and it doesn't matter anymore. And this is Obsidian.
Are those
and
the twins?
Obsidian, yeah. And this is Obsidian. She is pretty meek and shy, but despite that, she manages all the weapons. Which is like stuff like that. I don't know. It's cool seeing like a breakdown and a reminder at the beginning of every book.
That's good because like there's a huge cast, right? There's a bunch of them. So, and we barely got to see all of them.
Right? You're like, who's Zircon again?
Who's the one in the background?
Okay, Zircon's really smart. Okay, cool. Yellow Diamond. Oh, she's the original one. That's right.
Right. Yeah, I feel it.
Stuff like that. Also, did you know that Antarcticite, they have her foot?
They have her foot? Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, in the show, I don't know why. I feel like they didn't bring it up very often or didn't really go over it. It was just like
after she like got smashed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have like a bowl where they have just her foot and then eventually gets too hot and it melts into water.
Yeah. But they didn't really bring it up after that. But they brought it up a couple of times. And I feel like it's more substantial in the manga, the way that Foss is feeling about Antarctica. We've talked about this a couple episodes ago. Go and listen to that because Land of Lustrous is pretty good. Not to get into too much detail, but I'm having a good time.
Good. That's good to know.
Anyways, other than that, today is the new season out on Dauntless. It's all like pirate themed stuff, so you could get pirate emotes and banners and explosions and transmogs and whatnot. So anyways, last night I finished up the current levels of getting free shit or whatever, and that was fun. It was cool. So I don't know, man. That's pretty much it. Play a little bit of Dauntless. I don't remember at the time if I had watched all of Stranger Things from last episode, but I think I did. Yeah, I've just been doing some chilling hard on my phone, doing some interneting. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Want to get into the news?
Yes, I really do.
Let's do it.
So check it out. News this week, I only have like 2 things to tell you. So first off, Lupin the Third is receiving a 3D CG animated film. They released a promotional video for it this week, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I thought this looked killer, actually. It reminded me of like...
You were saying Pixar, but I was like, damn.
I mean, like...
You want to say DreamWorks instead?
I mean, like...
You want to back off of that?
I don't think I said Pixar. What I'm saying is... I did say Pixar. I was saying that... This is the argument we had a while back where it's like, why? I was like, why can't they do a good job with CG? And it's like, because it's TV. And I go, oh, you're right. That makes sense. But this is a movie, right? So it makes sense that there's more budget. I think it looks really good. I think Lupin lends itself for it. It's stylized enough to do this. The more, because I keep looking at this trailer because I like bits of it. I don't like their mouth. That's my biggest issue. When he When he opens his mouth, his teeth look kind of too small inside of it, and I'm not a fan of that.
Okay. I was seeing pictures today. People were like, the Detective Pikachu mouth is really fucking with me, man. Not from the movie, but from the video game. Really? And they took all these screenshots, and it's like, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It makes me uncomfortable. Maybe if I added teeth, it would make it better. And they added in teeth. They're like, nope, this is way fucking worse. That was a mistake. And I just think it's funny because the way that mouths look, it can really affect how you feel about these characters, how genuine they feel, or if there's something that you're just like, nope, this is fucking fake. Like Sonic, for example. Yeah. The design was a big part of why people... That was pretty much the entire part the design, of why people didn't like it. But honestly, I felt like the trailer was dorky and whatnot, too.
I mean...
So, I don't know.
Mouths are such a hard thing to fake because it's like a... It's such a... It can move in so many different ways, right?
It's a very human thing, yeah.
So I'll talk about mouths in a show that we're going to be reviewing later, where I was watching it and be like, fuck, they just didn't even bother with the mouths this season at all.
Yeah, well.
So that's my only issue with Lupin. I don't... that's me nitpicking. I think it looks really cool. I'll probably watch it just because... I mean, it's a movie, so it's like it's just a standalone thing. And
yeah, I mean, if we wind up watching it, we'll wind up watching it.
And I think Lupin's kind of interesting. I've never seen a whole movie or season of it, but yeah, cool for people who like Lupin.
Nice. And for people that don't know about Lupin, well, there's other anime that you probably don't know about too. Luckily, Aniplex has released a bunch of selected titles to Netflix, like Anohana the Flower We Saw That Day, Angel Beats, God Eater, and GRANBLUE FANTASY the Animation.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know, pretty cool, right?
Oh man, I haven't seen Anohana in a while. I don't want to cry.
One of the top comments on this is just like, as soon as I saw this news, I looked up the outro song, and I still definitely have emotions. Just had to check though.
Like, man, that show fucks. It's such a good show. Damn. And then Angel Beats. I can finally get around to finishing Angel Beats, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Maybe.
One day.
Who knows?
I mean, you still have Eureka 7 that you promised to watch that you haven't.
Fuck. Okay, so, well, I got busy with the wedding trip. There was so much stuff to do.
Weren't you supposed to watch it like a year ago?
Yeah, but then I got married.
Anyways, so Taika Waititi, we all know him, we all love him. He's going to make the new Akira, right?
Yeah.
Well, instead, right now, he is directing Thor 4, so he's going to be busy, and the live action Akira adaptation is being pushed a little bit further.
I mean, okay.
That's how I feel too.
Right? Like, I mean, I like Taika Waititi. If he needs time to finish this other movie instead of rushing the other one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't rush it.
Yeah, and I'd rather him still do the Akira thing than him be like, he's just not going to do it. Because then I'm like, whoa, I was really looking forward to seeing him do it. So as long as the news is that he's just going to push it back.
He's pushing.
That's okay.
Yeah, we're all good for now.
Yeah, cool.
So,
good to know.
Very good to know. That's all the news because we have a mountain of anime to talk about. And by that, I mean like 6 shows.
Let's fucking do it. Yeah.
So 2019 spring anime wrap up. Essentially, we didn't watch many new shows. We watched a couple of new shows with a lot of either leftover from the season before or leftover from the year before kind of seasons, and then new seasons, sequels, all that shit.
Yeah. So I mean, for this episode, we're going to for sure review the show if it's done, even if it's not done, like if it's halfway through.
Like Demon Slayer.
But we might be spoiling some stuff, so just so you know, that's just something that's going to happen, because I do want to talk about things. This is their time to talk about things.
Yeah, pretty much. Overall, this season didn't blow me away.
I agree, yeah. And we were saying that there was some really good anime this season. A lot of that was continuation stuff or sequel stuff.
Yep.
New anime this season really suffered.
That's what I mean when I wasn't blown away.
That doesn't mean that this was the worst season of anime we've had. This just wasn't the best.
No, I had a ton of good sequels though, so whatever.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to next season. Just to say that, because this season is.
Why?
I don't know. Because
do you know what's coming out next season?
But this season's a wash, honestly, in my opinion.
All right, man.
It can't be as bad as this. It has to improve. It has to. Trip, don't look at me. It has to get better. Trip, don't look at me.
At least you have that teasing show.
Yeah, I do.
Anyways, I want you to tell me a little bit about Sarazanmai. It's made by MAPPA, who's done a whole bunch of stuff. Kakegurui, Kids on the Slope, Zombieland Saga, and a bunch more. And then it's also made by Lapin Track, who's done Uchi no Tama, Shirimasen ka.
I love that show.
Yeah. If I could just say it again. Uchi no Tama, Shirimasen ka.
Nailed it. Yeah, so this is a show we talked about a little bit that during the preview about how I was going to continue to watch it because it was absurd. It was like really wild.
I watched 4 or 5 episodes of this, and At that point, I felt like I understood it, and it wasn't doing anything. It essentially was like, oh, here's a little bit of new show for like a good 15 or so minutes.
And then it was just the same thing over.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season was actually only 11 episodes, which is interesting, right? Usually you get 12, right? If it's a thing. That's usually, so it was 11. I was like, okay, cool. So the basic premise is there's these 3 boys, and they live in this strange world where they carry around boxes and stuff, or like which is essentially kind of like a metaphor for their baggage. And then they run into a kappa, which is something it's a mythical creature in Japan, right? I didn't know anything about it until this show.
You know a few things about it now.
Now I do, yeah. Apparently they're really fucking scary looking, was it mutated like turtle frog things or whatever? Yeah. And they eat people or drown people or something?
Yeah, they'll pull people into the river, they rape women, they rip people's insides out from their rectum.
Yeah. They're scary.
Yeah.
Because I was looking up like
they capture children too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking up like pictures of what they are like in the
folklore and whatnot. Yeah.
They don't look like anything like those. This kappa's.
Oh no, this is cute.
This is a cute kappa. And cute is also like in quotations. It's like it's a round fat kappa with like a little X for a butthole kind of thing.
It could be a pillow.
It could, yeah. I put my head on that thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, they run into this kappa guy who turns them into kappas by, I think he eats them and then he shits them out, right?
Yeah.
And they themselves turn into little kappas, and they kind of become essentially like magical girls, and right?
They become kappas.
They become kappas,
which have very similar to Power Rangers and Magical Girls type capabilities.
Yeah, they have powers, and they kind of do like they sing and they dance, right? And they do these. They attack and they fight big monsters. And these big monsters, the way they beat them is usually by going into their ass and pulling out like a bead.
Yeah, which is like their desire.
Their desire, yeah. And then they usually eat this bead ass thing, and then they kind of do this thing where they link up and they go through a connection, and then we see, I guess it kind of depends on who the main character is in this episode. We'll see like their what's it called? Something that they did, like a secret they were holding or something, and
we'll see their story.
Yeah, and then all 3 of the boys will share this knowledge, and it kind of reveals something about them, and they kind of grow from that. So that being said, like the premise is wild, like I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but the director makes crazy ass things all the time.
That's his shit.
So if you're used to what he does, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Sorry, homies. If you're used to his other shows, then this won't be that crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're not used to it, this is a pretty fucking weird time.
And that's what got me at the beginning. I was like, this is really interesting.
But it looked good. Yeah. It was animated well.
It's MAPPA,
Yeah,
it's MAPPA.
It's MAPPA.
So it looked really nice also.
It looked really good.
I liked the dancing. I liked the singing. I thought the character designs were really cute. The monsters were really interesting. They all looked really dumb looking.
Yeah.
It was
fun.
It was a lot of fun. And then
it felt like there was so much to this world too.
And like we said, there's all these like metaphors for things or whatever. And then I agree, around episode 4, you kind of realize it's very, like
it's formulaic.
It's formulaic.
Yeah.
There's like the things that change are who's the main character and what is his baggage for this episode, right? From the 3 main characters. And then you go, whose ass is in the 8, right?
Yeah.
What's the secret that's being revealed?
That would be fine if you're like, okay, I know all the steps. How are we going to get there? But instead it was like, I know all the steps. How are we getting there? We got there. We're going to do the exact same thing. Instead of being like, we can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
We got to do something different.
But when we mean exact, we mean like exact. Like the fights all boil down. Exactly the same.
They sing the same song with different words.
They do the same attack.
Tune.
Yeah, they do the same power attacks.
They all group up, spin around in a circle, turn into a triangle or something, and
shoot
kill
water.
The enemy.
Yeah. So that I do agree that was really lackluster. And I was like, oh fuck, they really could have done a lot more with this. But they didn't. So I agree. Maybe at that point I was like,
that's why I fell off of it. Honestly,
I decided to keep watching it because it was formulaic, but I still enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
This show had a really killer outro.
Oh my god, one of the best. Honestly, the best of the year so far.
Yeah, it would do
I guess it's only been winter and spring, but still.
It would do like these really cool like live action like film shots of like real places in Japan, and they would like
killer overlays.
Yeah, really, these really dope lights, and the characters were there, and they looked obviously they look 2D, but they look so well with the background.
And the song by the Peggies is so fucking good. At the very least, like if you're not going to watch the show, check out the outro. The Peggies are now on Spotify, and you can check out Stand By Me, which is the outro song. Just fucking add that to a playlist because it's a jam.
What's funny because you played it and I go, oh, why does this sound so familiar?
Yeah.
That's because it's from the show. And then at the end of that, there's always like that. It was like a Marvel after credits where they would show a little bit more stuff.
Yeah.
And I was skipping them at first, and then you told me to go back because I missed a really big one. So the three boys. There's a boy who dresses up who cross dresses. There's a boy who
cross dresses for his brother
to make him feel better.
It's a very whole thing. Story thing.
Yeah,
whatever.
The second one is a boy who has glasses who is in love with the main character,
which is also a whole other thing.
And the last one is a boy who's kind of like a street tough who his family's been kind of like broken down, and his brother's like a bad person, and he had to kill someone.
Honestly, it's a really simple plot.
Yeah,
in comparison.
Yeah, in comparison to the other two. Yeah. So in the I think it was episode 3, right? Like
3 or 4. Yeah.
The glasses boy in the after credits like finds his friend passed out, dressed up as like the crossdresser, and he just kind of kisses him while he's passed out, and I go, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Because I told you, I'm like, dude, what about that rape though? And you're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, he was asleep.
And I go, what are you talking about? Yeah. And you have to go back. And I saw it, blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, man.
There was a lot of like, little risque, like homosexual vibes in this show. And I was like, cool, I get it. It's pretty fun. I get it. There was one bit when they're both kappas later, and the main character boy who cross dresses like in denial or whatever. He's sumo wrestling the glasses boy when they're kappas.
All right.
And their bodies are up against each other and they're sweating. And the glasses kappa guy is like fucking loving it. He's like creaming himself. It's so fucking wild. Anyways, the way this show ends is like a bunch of crazy bullshit happens. The glasses guy gets shot. The rebel boy ends up killing a couple people, and then his brother ends up getting killed.
Damn.
And they're fighting over the hope things, whatever, to like bring one of them back to life. And then he gets corrupted. The bad boy gets corrupted, and then with the power of friendship, they like decide that no, we're not going to get corrupted. And they see they see like the future, and the future is like the three of them are in like high school, I think, and they're playing soccer in the national tournament, and they're like trying to get the last goal or whatever. And we see little snippets of them, like one of them is suffering like from an injury. One of them is like doubting his other friend, and one of them has to go through juvenile hall, and like it's this whole thing, and like they're putting up words to talk about like the morals and stuff, and in the end it's just like, hey man, the future's not written in stone, and the future also isn't like super great, but you can change it or whatever, essentially is the moral. And the killer boy goes to juvenile hall for 3 years, and he did kill people.
Yep.
And then he meets up with his boys afterwards, and they're just boys, man. They're just boys playing soccer. And I was like, cool. I enjoyed
it's an alright end.
I enjoyed the show. It was fun. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I don't know who to recommend it to.
I mean, at first it was like, hey, check this show out. You got to see it. It's weird.
But it was because of the weird butt stuff. You're like, you got to see this.
It's weird. Yeah, but it's after watching the full season, just be like, if you want to see an episode of something weird, watch the first episode of the show. Don't commit to it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's, if you see this, great. If you don't see it, you're not really missing out on too much. It's not like it's not going to blow your mind. But again, I did enjoy it. My favorite part's probably the way it looked and the character designs, and so that was Sarazanmai.
Sarazanmai, R.I.P. All right, so One Punch Man Season 2. This season was done by JC Staff, who's done a lot of things like Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Food Wars, and Toradora, which are all pretty different shows. So, have you guys seen One Punch Man?
Yeah.
So you remember how good it is?
Oh, yeah, it's like one of the best shows ever.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, this season 2 sucked ass.
I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, it starts out, you have a new intro, but it has like similar vibes. It's not as good, but it has similar vibes. And like, that's just the way it goes sometimes. You're not always going to get a great intro. But the animation in the intro, honestly, people put a lot of money into intros. They make it a spectacle. It's a really cool thing. We'll talk about another show with intros and the importance of them later. But I feel like JC Staff was just like, it's an intro. They're just there to introduce you to the anime and not to be like, hey, this is to get you hyped for the anime.
They really phoned it in. It was like, just show all the characters or whatever and put their names on the bottom, and who cares if it's good? It felt like that,
Yep.
It wasn't like, when you see the intro to fucking Mob Psycho season 2. Because like Mob Psycho season 1 had a killer intro, and I was like, they can't fucking top it. It's impossible, right? And then season 2 comes out, and I was like, they fucking did it.
Yeah,
How the fuck did they do this, right? So we saw them perform the One Punch Man song live, and it's like, this is the best song ever.
Yeah, it's fucking killer. And that was like a year or two after they already came out with the One Punch Man. So.
And then the second season come out, and like I was like, come on, man. And my head was like, give it a chance. It's JC Staff. Maybe it'll grow on you. Kind of like My Hero Academia seasons when they changed the intro. I go, I hate this. This is so dumb. Before I know it, I'm like, this is the fucking best. I love
man.
This.
I mean, that's the way it went with Attack on Titan when it first started. You're just like, yeah, I love this intro. It's so intense, and it gets me so pumped. And the second one comes out, and it's like a little bit more calm.
You're like, I don't get
a little bit different.
It's not as good.
And now it's my favorite. Yeah. When I came into it, just like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would they? It's halfway through the first season. Why would they change it when it's this good?
Yeah. But this intro for season 2 of One Punch Man, it never grew on me. It just always sat wrong with me. And
the reason that we're talking about it so much is because the intro set the tone for the whole season, man. Essentially, you have a couple of big moments that we have to go over in season 2, but there weren't really any. So Genos is realizing he's not as strong as he should be, so he gets new parts, and he could use them better than before. That's cool. That's new. Saitama makes a new friend who is like one of the number one heroes. Turns out that he just got there through a bunch of crazy situations. He's actually terrified of stuff, but he always happened to be around when monsters would get killed by Saitama, and he would get the credit for it and didn't know how to tell people no because he's super socially awkward and a big old nerd. So that character's new. They tried to do something with I don't remember her name, but the like psychic tornado chick's sister.
Yeah, she has a sister, and she's like, I think I want to say like a B.
She's top of B. She's
B rank, and she has like her
B1.
own. Yeah. Then we got introduced to the Hero Slayer guy. He
wants to be a monster,
and he I don't fucking know. He's just going around finding S rank heroes and beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill them. He says he's gonna kill them, but he never does it because he's the bitch. I mean,
that's essentially his whole story.
Yeah.
So season 1 of One Punch Man was a big old satirical, like, hey man, we're shonen, but we're also making fun of it. And season 2 was more so like, we're shonen, but we're not going to be that good at it.
Yeah.
It was really confusing. I feel like if a different studio had it, they would have made me more excited for the different fights.
Yeah.
They would have put more emphasis on the moments that really mattered. But in reality, there were only a couple of fights that felt like they were a lot of fun. And I think one of them was this character that we only saw for 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, the Watchdog man. Yeah. He's dope. Like this, he's just like this guy with a really straight face who wears a dog suit and fights on all fours.
Absolutely killing it too, dude.
He reminds me of like Saitama when he has a dumb face kind of thing. Here's the issue. One of my favorite characters in One Punch Man season 1 was Saitama, the main character, right? Yeah. And in season 2, I feel like we barely get to fucking see him.
Yeah, hardly, because if he was around, he would be able to take care of literally every situation. So instead, they're just like, hey, look at this super tense situation.
And you go, yeah, I know, I get it. My biggest gripe with this season was I think it was the last episode where
it was absolutely the last episode.
They're having like this gnarly fight with the fucking Hero Slayer, Hero Killer, whatever, and he's fighting Bang and Boom or something like that, or whatever the guys, the brothers who trained him, and then Genos is there, and this guy's just going all off, and like he's getting his shit rocked, and then I don't know. It just looks so bad, And the hair was off, the eyes were off, and this is where I come up talk about like mouths. They were talking, like Genos was talking to the brothers or whatever, and it looks like their mouths barely moved. I was like, what the? It was so fucking lazy, and I don't understand because I watched the whole season, and sometimes you can see where the money goes, right? You go, okay, cool. This has been a really lazy episode, so no money here, right? Oh, this is an intense episode. They put all the money here, or like something, right? I was like,
I don't know. They give it to like the one team that didn't have any projects going on or something.
It's like, hey, if you had an awesome fight scene, where the fuck was it? And why didn't it look gorgeous?
Yeah.
And where did the money, why does this last episode feel so lackluster?
They were probably pulling people onto, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Maybe, yeah. I just really bummed out with JC Staff. We gave him a fair shake, to be honest. Like, we tried our best, right? We know they can do good stuff, that looks good at least, you know? And we watched it, and at first it was like, come on, we'll check it out, keep watching. Yeah. And then by episode like 4 or 5, I honestly really didn't care anymore.
I didn't either. I still watched it every week. There was the funniest bit was definitely Watchdog, and Saitama had a banana at one point, and that was pretty funny. He kept gifting people bananas.
That's pretty good. Yeah, he just kind of put them on them. Yeah,
and of course, it's a moment with a character that's there for a couple of minutes, and our main character, who I don't actually think is the main character anymore, because we focused a lot more on the hero killer monster guy.
Yeah.
Than like anyone else.
I really just honestly, this season kind of made me dislike Genos too. Just
because he was annoying.
I really liked
he didn't do shit.
I liked him in the first season because he was just like, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna find this cyborg that killed my family or whatever. And he ends up working for fucking Saitama, and then he's in his apron doing dumb stuff. And in this season, it was just kind of him doing stuff and then getting his ass beat, and then just him getting an upgrade again.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so you even though you're learning from this guy who's telling you to do stuff, all you do is just get better equipment. So like, what's the real point? And you still suck. Like you're still getting your shit rocked by people. So I don't know.
Dumb.
It made me dislike him.
There's a cop out.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I was literally sitting there, be like, wow. I remember how much I loved One Punch Man season 1, and season 2 came out.
Everyone to watch it,
and now season 2 came out, and I go, how could they fall from grace so hard, in my opinion? Because someone out there can really like this, and that's fine. That's just your opinion. But in my opinion, this season for sure left a bad taste in my mouth, and I just wasn't a fan of it.
The frustrating thing is that this had a very similar situation to Attack on Titan. We had season 1, fucking a hype train,
crazy.
5 years later, we get season 2, or however long it was. 4. Yeah, whatever. Everyone was excited. Everyone was happy. Everyone loved it. Just without a doubt. What happened to One Punch Man, man? Like, if Attack on Titan can do it, if they could pick up the pace, if people could get right back into it, why not?
I mean,
is it because of the length of the first season? Did they feel like there wouldn't be as much of a following and they didn't need to care? Because season 1 of Attack on Titan had 24 or 26 episodes, something like that.
I gotta say, I mean, obviously I don't know. I just gonna have to say it's the studio. It has to be something right. The studio fucked up because Madhouse did it. Madhouse did a great job, right?
Yeah.
JC Staff gets it, and it's somehow it eats a shit sandwich, and it's like, cool, the writing's no good no more. I don't care about these characters. It doesn't look that great anymore.
Remember when Mob Psycho came out and people were like, "Ooh, Madhouse did a great job with One Punch Man. I don't know if Bones is going to be able to, pick up and take after one."
Yeah.
And then it's fucking insanely good.
God. Dude, you know what? Fuck you, JC Staff. Give One Punch Man season 3 to fucking Bones. Just do us a favor.
That'd be pretty cool. So anyways, this, it wasn't my least, it might have been my least favorite show of the season. I don't know, man. It was not very great though.
Yeah.
And I only say that out of the things that I watched. So anyways, please, if you watched One Punch Man season 1, do not watch season 2. Just skip it.
Yeah.
Don't even, if you are curious, watch the first episode, but don't think it's going to get better because it straight up doesn't.
Yeah.
The sound design too, man. I know you don't care too much about the sound design, but one of the things that kept me going with what the fuck is it called? Slime show.
The time I was reincarnated as
slime.
slime.
The time I got reincarnated as a slime. The sound design in that was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And there's some amazing sound design in other shows of this season. But why was it was just so bad, man? It was.
I mean, if there's a third season and it's done by GC Staff, I probably won't watch it.
I definitely won't.
I mean, unless it's like someone says, "Hey, man, it's a fucking miracle. It's the best thing ever." Like, it gets great reviews. If another studio picks it up, maybe I'll try again. But honestly, the second season just wasn't worth it. I mean, maybe just read the manga. If maybe that's still
if
good.
You're committed to it. Right? It turns into a shonen. It's a lot less comedic.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't know. Whatever.
What else you got?
Hey man, Rising of the Shield Hero. This is the second part of the first season, made by Kinema Citrus. They've done Made in Abyss, Black Bullet, Barakamon, lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's an isekai.
I mean, if you followed this show at all, you know whether or not you like it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how it first started the show, loved it. Then I wasn't so sure. It kind of faltered a little bit. And then I got back into it. I'm like, you know what, man? They're doing a lot of cool things. Everyone's getting upgrades. A lot of like plot stuff is still happening.
They're doing different things, you know? Like, the isekai formula is pretty straightforward, but this one I felt like the first part was way different, and then again I just not feeling it.
Kind of back to normal,
and then they just kept doing new things, and I go, cool, man, this is interesting. I mean,
essentially they were like, hey, everyone else is fucking up the world and they're not being heroes, and you're like, oh shit, didn't even think that would be an option. Now he has to go fix all the other stuff for other people, and he's still not respected that much, and then it just grows and grows,
and the world got bigger. Like, a lot of times it's like you're just stuck in this one thing. This world just kept expanding, and like, cool, let's go here. There's other countries, there's other nations.
Already expanded way beyond that by the end of season. This first season. Yeah.
I would say honestly, I enjoyed this. Like I
had a great time.
I was really worried I was going to end up hating it. But I really enjoy it. I like the characters. I think the stories are pretty dope. The fights are killer when they come up. Yeah. You do get some episodes where it's like, they're not the best.
This is far and away the best isekai that I've seen.
Yeah, I really enjoy this isekai. I really super fucking dislike the other three heroes. They're just so bad.
They are, and that's probably my biggest complaint is that they don't put enough focus on the other ones in showing like how are they heroic, because we know in what ways they're not heroic and not cooperative and whatnot, but why are they that way? Why are they there? Why can't we see a little bit of their story to let us understand their characters versus just be frustrated?
Just a snippet, right? Like it doesn't have to be all that much. We just kind of like, and I mean, we've seen like little flashes of like this and that, but I mean, like 5 minutes, how much dedicate 5 minutes to us seeing what the fucking bow hero is doing or whatever,
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna for sure watch this. I like the way this ended. It ends with the really like kind of on a positive note where our main characters, I was worried they were just gonna
they've grown in a way.
Yeah.
They adopt. I'm gonna say they adopt somebody into their party that was from another hero's party, and at first the chick's like, oh, I don't really know, like, because I've heard things and I don't really know. He's like, hey man, you're like part of the team now. You helped out so much during that final fight, and we could use you.
He goes, and you're welcome to stay here for however long it takes you to clear your name with the other hero, and if you want to work with him. He goes, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like, I like how I was worried that they were just going to try to quickly wrap things up. Be like, yo, this is how and it all ends.
No, but I'm like, so glad they left it open.
It looks really open. Our main character is now like in charge of like this
he built his own town.
He's and his idea is now like, man, I'm gonna fucking build an army and a following, and people are gonna we're gonna rise up essentially and be together and defeat this fucking wave.
But I mean, leading up to it too, it did really feel like they were wrapping it up, and they did that on purpose to where like the other characters in the show would be like, are you going away? Like, what's going on here? Yeah. Because there are decisions to be made. He could just like give himself up and then cause this whole issue. Because essentially it's like, does he care about this world that he's in? Because he just got transported here and people treat him shitty. So why should he even care about it?
But he has learned that there are people in this world that he cares about enough to be like, I have to fight for you.
Yeah.
Because these other people who we find out they're like bad guys in quotations, right? They're also there protecting their own world for some odd reason, right? And I was like, these characters are really cool.
Oh, so cool.
Like, I really didn't like, what's her name? I think her name is
Fan,
right?
I think something like that.
Yeah. And when we first met her and like in like the first time he tussled, I was like, oh, she's just a bad guy. And then
her name's like Glass or something.
It is Glass. He calls her Glassy.
Glass. Yeah. And then she fights with fans. Yeah, that's why.
But in this later part, we see that like she is also one of like she's like Lark, right? She's also from another world, and she's also fighting to protect her world. And I go, wow, there's more to this. It's not just like you're just a bad guy for the sake of being a bad guy. Like,
also, how stoked were you when you're like, there are heroes with other weapons?
Yeah, the fan hero. Yeah.
I got so excited. Like the other day, Kyle and I were talking about all the different cool weapons that would be fun to fight with and things. Just like, oh man, they're in other games. I'm like, frying pan's cool. Fans are dope. Like batons are cool. Weird shit like that. Yeah, whips are tight. Very unconventional weapons.
As opposed to sword. Spear.
Or just shield is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like shield a lot. It's very unassuming, right?
Yeah.
And he's a badass. He's learned how to do it. This show's killer. I'm going to keep watching it whenever the second season comes out.
And it looks amazing. The intros are dope. The outros are fine. Honestly, go into the show and realize that it is an isekai and it is a harem, but it's a harem in the way that it's everyone's dad.
Yeah.
Like it's just a dad collecting daughters.
Yeah, it's it's him. It's just him be like, you are now my child. I will now brush your hair.
I will take care of you forever and ever
until I leave.
And I love you
like a father. Yeah. But I will not have sex with you yet.
It's great.
Yet.
Fathers.
Anyways,
so Rising of the Shield Hero, highly recommended.
Yeah, me too.
If you've been putting it off for some reason or another, I don't know, check it out.
English dub's not the best. I've said that before. Well, if you like dubs, though, they have it dubbed. Check it out.
All right. Another show, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, made by ufotable, who's done Fate Zero, God Eater, and The Garden of Sinners, amongst a bunch of other Fate things.
This one's 2-core, right? So we're on episode 15 right now?
Yeah.
Is that far you got? Did you stop?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, where'd you go?
I watched 13, maybe 14 episodes and was like, yeah, no, not for me. For sure, not for me. But I wanted to finish off the season because I thought maybe there might be a change in direction.
Maybe.
I don't know. Here's the thing, man. Starts out, looks really good.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, pretty unique. Great fights in the very beginning. Character loses his whole family. They all get killed by a demon. And his one sister is still alive, but she has now been turned into a demon. So he's trying to find a way to make her a regular person again.
Yeah.
And in that, he learns how to fight demons and he trains for years and becomes a very powerful fighter. And then he gets indoctrinated into the Demon Slayer little committee thing, and they have these bird familiar type things come up and tell them where to go and where to hunt the next demon. And in hunting the demons, he's asking people questions and trying to get his sister all fixed up.
Right up to there, I say, I still really like this show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All that chunk, I'm on it. Like I'm like, I can't wait to
bird
watch
part
this.
kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
But I was still down.
I was like, cool. As long as it's not like I don't know. It was a little weird, but I guess they need to be told where to go somehow, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Up until there, I'm like, cool. This show can do no wrong.
Yep.
And then it does
we were
wrong.
about halfway through the show.
Yeah.
Or first half of the first season.
That's like 6 episodes, yeah.
And then he goes to this town, and we started making fun of it about this point where it's like, go to the town in the West. And he goes to it, and he's like, is this the town in the West? And it's like, is this the only fucking town that you've seen, and it's westward? What kind of a question is that? If you're going to give cryptic directions, don't goddamn question whether or not the only town that seems to be the one that fits the description is the one.
I mean, he's asked the bird, like, are we here? And he goes, nah, man, it's a couple towns over. Or you missed it or something, I was like, yeah, you're in the right spot.
Fucking stupid.
Don't you smell the demons?
Yeah. Anyways, then it turns out that there's a head honcho demon who looks like he's some like Michael Jackson wannabe motherfucker.
This part I didn't like because I
hated it.
He very quickly found the specific demon that turned his family into demons.
And we were just like, oh, okay. Oh, so there's like an overarching, cool. I was all right, this is a very generic shonen.
I'm like, he really quickly found the main bad guy. And the main bad guy didn't seem to, he was just like, yep, don't fuck with me. And he turns some guy into demon and walks away. I was like, Demon Slayer, you son of a bitch. What are you doing here?
Yeah. Anyways, then he goes on to fight a couple of demons. The fight was okay. And then I got kind of bored. And then it went into the next episode still. And they finished up the fight. It was whatever. They met a couple more demons that are actually good people. Mm-hmm. So it turns out that there are multiple. So he meets some cool ass demons that are into healing and weird ass magic, and then they get bombarded by a couple more demons and have some of the stupidest looking fighting animation that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because these attacks are just arrows that change the direction that the character goes.
Things
and
move,
where the balls that another character throws go. And it was just stupid. But they used the powers in tandem. In theory, it was very cool.
The way they represented it visually was dumb. Yeah,
it was dumpster, but that's how it looks in the manga,
which is pretty dumb still.
I don't like it at all. So the fight went on way too long, and I stopped caring about the show during this part because I was like, okay, you kind of lost me back there with that other fight that felt like it was dumb. You lost me at that head honcho guy. Mm-hmm. This fight, the visuals just look so stupid. Yeah. So then we get into the last part of the first half of the season, and he meets up with some other dude who's fucking panicked.
Yeah, and he's like a blonde boy with like lightning powers, and he's just the world's biggest bitch.
He also graduated from the demon killing
same time
they are
he did.
Homies, yeah.
Like he like barely recognized him as something. He got a sparrow instead of a crow for some reason.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's just like a huge coward. All he does is complain. He wants to marry every girl he sees, and he's like Brock, and he's also a bitch.
Yeah, so it just big suck. Anyways, they go into this house to find this girl's brother, and they fight demons in there, and they have really cool powers, and it's really cool animation, and I liked the whole theme of these fights in this episode. And it was really cool seeing our main character try to fight this demon that can essentially change the gravity in the place that he's in and the location of the rooms or where the people are based off of hitting drums that are embedded in his body. So it's creepy. It's cool. The fights are difficult and fun. And then we get to see how blonde hair boy got to the point that he got to. Turns out that when he panics too much, he blacks out. And then when he blacks out, he goes to sleep. And while he's asleep, he sleepwalks and can kill demons.
He's a total badass. Yeah. The issue with that is when he wakes up, he's just back to being the world's biggest bitch. So it's just really annoying. We also get introduced to like this crazy boar guy. He's this shirtless muscle dude who like wears this big boar head and has these two serrated like swords.
Jagged as fuck.
And he just like, he's fucking gnarly. He jumps off walls. He wants to kill shit.
It's fine.
It's fine. They end up beating this demon. They escape. Him and the boar guy wants to kill the main character's sister because she's in the box, right? And our yellow haired bitch protects it or whatever. And then our main character fights the boar guy, and they kind of have this weird mutual respect, I guess. The boar guy also gets his boar head removed, and he's just really pretty. Like he has like a really pretty face. They think he's like a girl. That's how pretty his face is.
Damn.
And this boar guy seems to have like no manners. He apparently grew up in a mountain, can't read or write. So he doesn't know things. Like someone says to him, like, best of luck on your journey, and like something about like he like says some sort of catchphrase that isn't that cryptic, but he's just like, what could those words possibly mean? Here's the part where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So now we have main character, we have annoying blonde haired character, we have
with sidekick.
Yeah, we have super aggro erratic fucking
rival
dude, and then we have the sister who's just like a dolt, that just
literally the sister is the best part of the show though. Yeah, she kicks ass when she needs to, and she looks like a fucking goofus.
But the issue here is now that blonde boy knows that there's a girl there, he's like all over the sister. It's just the worst. The way the 15th episode ends, that's as far as I got. All three of them have been told by a crow to go to the mountain. They're needed or whatever, and at the mountain there is it's like there's demons there, and they're collecting other demon slayers. Like there's 10 of them that were sent there, and they all got caught in like these webs, and they're being controlled to kill each other. And I guess the crow tells whoever's in charge of the demon school, goes, hey, all your boys are fucking dead. He goes, oh really? He's like, maybe I should send people who are more capable. So then we get to see 2 new demon slayers who are like a rank above, and they're going to be sent out to go fight on the mountain where our boys are at. I don't know. The only thing I like about this show is honestly is the way that it looks sometimes.
It's animated really well.
But the story's boring, and like some of the characters really suck ass. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh well. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be watching it either.
I gave up. I was so like, as soon as we finished that episode, I was like, done. Not watching it anymore. I'm fucking done.
All right, what else you got?
Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3, made by Bones, who's done a bunch of good stuff like My Hero Academia, Mob Psycho 100, Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood. Bones is just a killer studio, so check it out. Bungo Stray Dogs Season 1, very good show, but it's a little bit more difficult to get into because it makes a bunch of references to Japanese novels and writers and whatnot, so you might not get all of the like extra, I don't know what to call them exactly, but like references, the powers that each character has, references these writers and whatnot. Like there's Rashomon, which a lot of people know because of the movie that it's based off of. Anyways, Season 2, we get a bunch of American authors, so we understand who John Steinbeck is and other characters, whoever the fuck else there is.
Other American authors. There are the other ones.
There were a bunch. Don't worry about it. And in this third season, we get to see some new stuff, but it's more so there's some new characters that have made both of the heads of the good guys and the bad guys, they will either both die or one of them has to be killed for the other one to be saved. Mm-hmm. So even though they're good guys and bad guys, they're both trying to look after the same city in different ways. One of them is just a little bit more like, hey, we're protecting the people. And the other one is like, we're protecting the seedy underbelly and making sure it doesn't get too fucked up while still being like reputable. It's a whole like...
We about business.
Yeah. So anyways, two very different things. So they're like, fuck, we don't want to screw with it because we need them, but like, fuck them. So, and it got really complicated. It was a bunch of back and forth. It brings in characters from season 2, which weren't supposed to be in it anymore, and they get brought back. Lots of really cool, exciting things happen. At the very beginning of this season, we actually do a whole bunch of flashback episodes, and it was fucking killer. I'm jamming out to the intro, and then after the flashback episodes, we get to current episodes, and we get a new intro, and it's fucking cool. The fact that we have like 5 intros for 3 seasons of Bungo Stray Dogs is so kick-ass. I don't know why the fuck there are other shows that keep the exact same intro through the whole thing. I'm looking at you, Hunter x Hunter. Even if you change visuals and whatnot, they keep the same song. But for this, it's like, oh man, new visuals, new song. They just go hard. They go into it because that's what the story's about. It's not going to be like, we're going to do some like behind time stuff and now we're going to do some forward time stuff. No, it's just like, this is literally what you're getting right now. This is the story and these are the characters in this story. I don't know. I really appreciate that. Season 3, I think, was fantastic. Season 1 was okay. Season 2 was fantastic. And then Season 3 just followed up with another great season. It's a good show, man. Cool. I highly recommend it to people. Just the first season's a little bit to get through. Okay. So, anyways, without focusing on that, since it's the 3rd season, let's move on to another 3rd season, Attack on Titan, made by Wit, who's done Ancient Magus' Bride, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign, and more.
It's probably my favorite season of anime.
Yeah?
It's really good. That's all you gotta say.
All right, cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Season 1 Attack on Titan. Yeah. Season 1 of Attack on Titan was very new for the time that it came out. It was dramatic. It was violent.
It's what we
It was
needed,
surprising.
man.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you about the panel I went to at Anime Expo a while ago. They were talking about, there's a huge spike in interest in anime around this year, you know, and they go, why? Because Attack on Titan blew up and the United States had no fucking clue what was coming their way. I wasn't on top of this. Like I kind of caught it once it was like a little
couple years later.
No, I think like maybe a year later, and I was like, huh, let's check this shit out because I wasn't really into anime that seriously. Fuck, man, that shit was amazing. I remember it's still like a solid season. Man, what a good fucking show.
Anyways, season 3, it's just more of the same stuff. If you listen to us talk about season 3 a while ago, since this is in the second half of season 3, it keeps giving us a lot of the same stuff that we already had. A bunch of cool, thrilling shocks and whatnot. Season 3, I'm just going to come out and say it. Maybe spoilers, who gives a shit.
Yeah, sorry.
Season 1's goals and ambitions are fully realized in season 3.
We get answers. Finally, we get answers.
Watch it. Watch fucking Attack on Titan now. If you're pissed off because you don't get these answers and they jerk you around for so long, this is the season where we get all of our answers.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Everything you theorized about may or may not be true. It's fun. Please watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, so I was someone who was not the hugest fan of season 2 because we waited for so long, and it was only 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And I go, you fucking bastards, because like the first season was 2 core, right?
Yeah.
This last season was that 2 core?
Yeah, but it was also separated.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. It is. Fuck, you're right.
Yeah,
which is fine
by 6 months.
It wasn't a 4-year gap. So it was solid. We got to see some really cool like mission type stuff the scout people do, and then there's a time jump. Things pass, and I really like when they do that because I don't want to see the day to day. Sometimes I want to see what the effects are, and I would like to see how that affects the future. So just go to the future and tell me how that is. Coolest part was
it's not the fault of the show.
No,
the pacing.
But the coolest part, in my opinion, was honestly like the flashbacks to see like the Titans' history, and I go. Yeah. Man,
the end of this season was incredible.
I've been wanting to know this for so long, and I could have just looked it up and read it online.
Absolutely.
But I was like, I want to be patient. I want to visually see it, And now that I got it, I was like, man, I'm really fucking happy, you know?
Doesn't it kind of make you want to go back and watch that first episode and see everyone die again and be like, man. I know who they are. I know who they are. I know what's happening there. Yeah. And just see everything. See the history of it. You
bastards. You think you're tricking me. You're not.
Right?
This season ended pretty well, in my opinion. I again, don't want to spoil things. But the fourth season, I don't really know what's going to happen because like
it's the final season.
There's so many ways it can go.
It's going to end relatively open ended. I could tell you that much for sure.
Well, yeah, because the manga still has a lot more to give. Right? There's there's more source.
The manga will finish in time for season 4 to finish.
Yeah, you think so?
That's what.
Oh yeah,
that's what's been said.
I just know that.
I feel like the way that the show has gone at this point, there are a couple directions it can go, and either direction, it's going to end in a way where it's like there are still so many years that we haven't experienced. There's going to be so much more that happens. There could be any number of changes, but we're hopefully going to make it the best world that we can for this reason. Or it's going to be like, it's fucking hopeless, mate. Those are the two options.
I do feel kind of like that because like we were given this really big news where like there's a timeline or essentially like a
right. We realize that we know
we know that some people aren't going to live that much longer, because of just basic math and rules. Essentially, that the world is like they go, this is a rule. We go, cool, and then we go, oh fuck, that's not very long that they have left to live or whatever.
And we realize that their history isn't that long,
right? Yeah, they haven't been there. It feels like because the walls are so big and everything feels like they've been in there forever, but honestly, it hasn't been that long, right?
No, it hasn't been. So that like brings so much more validity to the wall believers and whatnot, that whole religion.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So this fourth season, I don't really know what's going to go. I would be really happy with it kind of, like you said, ending kind of open-ended.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Or doing a big time jump and seeing what happens like 100 years from wherever we end, like, oh, I go, really? That's what happened? Okay,
but they're not going to do a Gurren Lagann and be like, yep, there's literally no other possibilities. This is the end. Everything's done.
My only complaint about this third season, honestly, was I just wasn't the biggest fan of the song for the intro.
Oh yeah, the second half of the third season, the intro was not that great.
Yeah, it was just like, I've heard a lot better intros from you, Attack on Titan. This intro was still better than the fucking One Punch Man season 2 intro
by far.
But yeah, that was a great show. Probably the best anime of the season, in my opinion.
It's definitely gone down as one of my favorite animes of all time. Yeah. I'd probably put it in my top 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So next up, since I think we're done talking about all the anime you've watched, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. I mean, Mix. I fell off of
gave
it.
Up,
I got busy. I'll probably get back to it eventually. I like baseball animes. I had a wedding.
Whatever. It's all good.
Whatever.
So I'm going to talk about Dororo, which was on Amazon.
Right.
So it's made by Tezuka Productions. They've done a lot of things along with MAPPA, like Kids on the Slope. They also made Adam the Beginning and Dagashi Kashi Season 2. And they made stuff with MAPPA. So MAPPA also worked on this. Okay, so Dororo, this is a leftover from last season. It's one season. It's over. The story concludes. And I'm really happy that it does. It ends in a way that some people weren't very happy with, and I totally understand. But it also ends in a way that I feel like is
appropriate.
It's all right.
Okay.
They could have handled it a little bit more tenderly with the very end situation where the characters go and kind of what happens from there. They could have handled it a little bit more tenderly and made fans better and happier. You need maybe 2 minutes more of dialogue and animation and whatnot. If we got that would have been cool. But whatever, we'll accept it for what it is. Mm-hmm. It was a thrilling show. It really sets it up with, hey, there's this character and everything that he is sacrificed to this land in order to make sure that it prospers. And it's him trying to get back all of his body parts. And then at the end of the first half of the season, he runs into his brother and his mom and his dad, and it becomes a whole different situation where he's trying to get back his body parts still, but he's also growing angry with his family, which is kind of corrupting his soul. Mm-hmm. Instead of it being pure, since he does have ties to demons because they, and like gods or whatever, they have his body parts, it's kind of corrupting him in that way. By the end of it, it was a fucking crazy fight, dude. Lots of fun. Some stupid moments, but it's kind of whatever because the animation was amazing. The intro and outro were great for both seasons. But honestly, it's one of the best intros of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it just fucking starts sounding like party is over. And that's a fucking meme now, dude. People are just like, the party truly is over.
Yeah, I've been hearing
now
that.
The season ended and whatnot.
It's good.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I highly recommend it. Also, the song is Fire by Queen Bee. They are on Spotify. Look them up. Add them to your playlist because it's fucking amazing.
I've actually decided that I think I'm going to start my own like anime like playlist. Because, you know, you collect anime.
I have like 13 songs on mine right now. I keep forgetting to add more. But
I think I'm going to start doing that because I also like anime intros. Not as much like to learn the words and sing them in Japanese.
No, but
to bob my head and be like,
yeah, you're just like, yeah, fucking jamming. Okay, whatever.
So if this is a banger, like you said, it might have to get out of the playlist.
Yeah, it's killer. Anyways, it was fantastic. I highly recommend it. Overall this season, the down points were Demon Slayer, which is the new show that we started, and Sarazanmai, which is the other new show that we started. Mm-hmm. At least in my book, those were the downfalls. So we had a couple of continuations, which were Rising the Shield Hero and Dororo for me. Mm-hmm. Then we had follow-up seasons, which was One Punch Man, which was terrible. And then Bungo Stray Dogs for me and Attack on Titan for you.
Yeah.
And me. But
I mean, like I said...
Not a great season overall.
I mean,
because we didn't have a lot to draw from.
We've had worse. That's how I always feel about it. Like I've gone through worse droughts essentially.
Let's think Kobayashi Dragon Maid and Saga of Tawny the Evil.
People fucking love that shit.
Two best shows of that season,
and we didn't
like
them.
either.
Yeah, we didn't even watch them.
I think that was that My Hero season?
Maybe that was probably the best one.
Time? Yeah, and we were like, well, it's just a continuation,
and everything else was like Lolita crap. Yeah, man. Again, Attack on Titan this season was great. I didn't see, Bungo and those things. And I liked the Saizamar thing enough to finish it. But again, it's not something like I'd be like bragging to anybody about. It's just
I finished the show. Fuck you.
It's kind of like the way how I like, motherfuckers or whatever. It's like it's like, yeah, I like it, but I liked it. The world probably won't like it, but I like these because of these things.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more so like you're like, I like parts of it enough to watch it.
Enough to watch it. Yeah. So like visually, I'm like, cool. This show did look really good, and the outro was killer or whatever. So it's like it has its moments, but I do agree. I'm not going to be like, hey man, you should watch this show. I would have hoped, and I don't fucking know, man. I really disappointed with season 2 of fucking One Punch Man. It's crazy for me to think that for me personally, such a great show was able to fall so low. Like for me to be like, wow, if I never see this again, I'd probably be okay with it,
And to see Saitama behind you drinking his juice box and his little fucking
me mugging me,
yeah. Honestly, man, my poster is how I feel about season 2. Watching it, just feeling like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? Well, at least I got my juice box, but I'm fucking mad.
Well, I mean, that's the episode, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's the episode.
Next week, we're going to be doing the preview for this season of anime. Is that right?
Yeah.
We're going to be watching all the shit that's out. There'll be at least one episode of everything, maybe 2.
So far, I found a couple of shows that I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. Clearly, the ones that everyone's talking about, Dr. Stone and Fire Force, those are the biggest ones. So we are going to check that out.
It was all over AX.
I already know how I feel about both of them. But I'm going to keep watching and find out if my opinion still stands. Mm-hmm. That being said, I've watched everything that there is to offer on Crunchyroll. I've watched a couple of things on Funimation. There's only one show to watch on Amazon. There's nothing on Hulu that I'm aware of.
What about High Dive?
High Dive has a few.
Okay, cool. So yeah, there's for sure work to be put in. So we're going to be doing that next week, talking about that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you like our logo, hit up AaronFromTurbyTops.com. If you like our theme song, check out Time Master on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instagram Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram Podcast. If you want to send us a tweet at InstaRamenPod.
Podcast Interfit.
And you could go ahead and shoot us an email, InstaRamenPodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what your favorite show of the season was and what was something that like you watched that picked up. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like everything that we watched never picked up. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like a watch and you get what you get kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So this is Bye from Juan.
And thanks for listening. This is Bye from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.